Every student can earn up to $30,000 while studying abroad. So why isn't anyone doing this? Now, I've never really addressed this on my channel as to what my total expense was while I studied at Cornell. I know that there are the big expenses like the tuition fee, which is already, a large amount, but there are other things like living expenses, health insurance, and all that stuff that adds up on top of the tuition fee to kind of sum up to a pretty big number. And before I tell you guys what that number is and you guys shut this video out, I want to let you guys know that I come from a middle class family and I did not get any sort of full ride or full scholarship to attend, my master's at Cornell. Found other ways like taking loans and, some personal assets. And that whole amount was around 50 lakh rupees per year. Now, this is a really big amount. And my mindset wasn't just like this after I got admission and we took this loan. It was like that way before when I started applying to colleges. And while I was thinking about what to kind of talk about in this video, I came across this cheat sheet that I had tracking each and every expense of mine, all the way from like college application fee to all the tests that I wrote, and I even converted every dollar amount into rupees. So I knew exactly how much money went into my study abroad journey. So what's the point of me telling you guys all of this? I know that I've made a lot of scholarship videos, full ride videos, but the truth of the matter is there are only so many scholarships available and not every single student can get a full ride. So the point of this video is to actually explain to you guys that there are some methods and some strategies out there by which you can either earn money or save money, or in some case, just even both here and there. So in this video, I want to talk about 4 things, 2 of which you can do before you come to the US for your study abroad journey, and 2 things you can do as a student after you arrive to the US. The first one on our list is CSS profiles. Now, this is something that a lot of students don't know about. It's probably because it's an optional form sort of that you submit with your college application. Now, your CSS profile is basically your financial report of you and your family. It shows, the loans, your assets, your liabilities, your family earnings, what the total household size is, and it basically gives colleges a very clear insight into what your financial situation is as a student. You do have to pay a $20 or $25 fee to submit your CSS profile to each college, but I would highly recommend that you attach this with your application, because I know that the fee is a little add-on to your college application, but it can really determine if you get that full ride or not. The second thing on our list is your credit score and credit history. Now, before I tell you the boring stuff like what it means, you know how the US always advertises that you can get an iPhone for like 0% interest, or you can lease a car for 0% down payment and interest. All that is based on someone who has a good credit score. So now that I have your attention, your credit history is basically a score out of 850 that typically banks use to determine how much and whether you're a good person to loan money to. This can be used for small things like electronic purchases, laptops and iPhones, bigger things like leasing a car, or even like buying and mortgaging a house. So the biggest place where your credit history and your credit score is used is for credit cards. And credit cards are important because they give you rewards. Now, on average, anyone can earn up to $1,000 per year just by using credit cards. That's it. Now, that amount is worth almost 2 months of rent. Now, one of the big reasons, and the reason why I didn't have a credit card in college, was because I didn't have that credit score. Being an international student, you didn't get a chance to kind of build your credit score in any way. Thankfully, we're not in those old times, and Zolve has come up with a really creative solution to this problem. Now, Zolve helps students and young professionals studying in the US by giving them a US-based credit card and bank account that you can sign up for in your home country. The advantage of this, well, it's kind of pretty simple. You fill out the form while you're in India, and once you come to the US, you're all set to use your credit card, which means you can start earning rewards, which means you start building that credit history from day one. The sign-up process is super easy, and you can do it completely online, and there's no application fee or no annual fee associated with it. Now, since this is designed for students and young professionals, there's no minimum balance that you need, and there are 0 withdrawal fee through their partner ATM network. With Zolve, students can get a high credit limit of up to $5,000, and working professionals can get a limit up to $10,000. The cool thing is you get a 0% interest for the first 15 months which is really beneficial as a newbie to, the US. And the best part is you can get up to 10% in personalized rewards, which is absolutely crazy. Since you guys are the Crazy Medusa family, by signing up using the link in the description, you get a $50 reward post your first transaction. And the best part is through the referral program, you can continue to get $50 by referring a friend. I would highly recommend checking out Zolve if you guys want to get started on the right foot financially in the US. So now coming to the two things you can do after you come to the US as an international student. The first one is getting part-time jobs. I know that I've spoken a little bit about this, but as an international student, you can work up to 20 hours on campus, which is a great way to make some extra cash. Now, there are a ton of jobs that you can do on campus, like working in the library to working in the dining hall, or something like I did where I was a referee for some football matches on the Cornell campus. And I pretty much messed up the offside rule almost every single time, but I had a fantastic time and I got that extra cash. On average, you can earn about $15 to $20 per hour by working these on-campus jobs, which is about $1,600 per month. Now, I know it isn't enough to cover your tuition fee, but that amount is good enough for rent, for food, transport, and maybe like some extra cash to party, so that never hurts. But apart from these type of jobs, you also have some higher paying jobs like teaching assistant or research assistantships, where you can earn up to $30,000 per year. Now, these jobs require a bit larger skill set, and they're also a little more difficult to get hold of. When I was in Cornell, I applied for a ton of TAs and RAs, didn't end up getting any. Now, these positions can definitely help you expand your skill set, and nevertheless, it doesn't hurt to put on your resume. So I asked a couple of my subscribers what they do as part-time jobs, so let's hear it from them.
Hi, my name is Aditya Ravi, and I'm a graduate student here at Cornell University, Ithaca. For my master's, I'm currently pursuing a degree in engineering management, and I specialize in data analytics. For my campus part-time job, I work as a grader for a negotiations and contract course for graduate students here in Ithaca. And my responsibilities primarily include grading assignments, quizzes, and exams for the course. I also get to work with the professor in developing class notes since there's a new course taught by the professor.
Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm currently pursuing biomedical engineering degree in biomechanics at Tec de Monterrey University here in Mexico. And I work as a customer service where I do retention of clients by giving discounts in monthly services.
Now, before I come to this last point, I want to put it out there as a disclaimer that I am not a financial expert, and in no way do I have an economics degree, but investing is something that I feel students should learn to do while they are in college. Learning how the stock market works is inevitable. You're eventually going to do it maybe 5 or 10 years down the road. Why not learn the ins and outs of this thing now? You guys are smart enough. You're applying for colleges abroad, and that extra cash that you have every month, no matter how little it is, it doesn't need to be thousands of dollars each month. You can invest into a variety of stocks to build your portfolio. Now, this can be all the way from hospitality to ETFs to mutual bonds to cryptocurrencies. But the whole point is to learn and research about the growth of a company and see how that does, and genuinely invest in a company that you feel has some potential and some future prospects. I personally invest, in things like Apple, Tesla, Moderna, Pfizer, and a couple other healthcare-based companies, just because I keep up with what those companies are doing and what products they have, coming up. And that's genuinely where my interest lies. But this can be true for any field. And, with the cryptocurrency, again, it's basically crashed, but I'm on the team of buy the dip. So now is the best time, better than ever. Bitcoin is not $60,000. It's literally $30,000. So it's the best time to buy. And if you're in India or the US, you can use either of these trading apps. These apps did not pay me. It's not a sponsored post or anything. I genuinely use these platforms and like their user experience. Also, the fact that it's a good passive source of income, which you're allowed to do as a student. You cannot day trade, but having this as a passive source of income is great to get some knowledge and also see how this helps in building a portfolio. You never know what that little amount may end up in the next, 2 or 4 years during your education journey. So the point of all this is that if your performance is good enough, at the end of the day, once you graduate, you'll end up getting a good job. And personally, for me, I ended up paying off all my student loans within 3 years of actually getting a job right out of college. So it isn't so bad as long as you are working on building your skill set and learning to become better at whatever craft you've come here to study. So this was a different type of video where I spoke a little bit about finances, money, and how I managed all of these things as a college student. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this type of video, and we can definitely make more of these. But that's all for this one. Check out Zolve and sign up for the credit card. It's going to be the link in the description. And like the video if you haven't already, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.